Welcome to class. This is going to be a nice quick fix for the low back. And you'll want a block and a strap nearby for lumbar luxury. So let's just come into the breath in a seated position very briefly, just in case we're having low back compression issues. Take those sits bones, bring them to the edge of your blanket or seat so that your pelvis is spilling slightly forward and you can feel that beautiful curve of the low back rising on up to the mid back and those relaxed shoulders and the lengthened neck and the crown of the head reaching towards the sky, allowing for beautiful breath. So we begin to notice the breath for our practice. That's our gateway as we close the eyes and cut out our visual distractions and slow down the flurry of our mind. And just notice if our mind can join the breath in the waves of flow, gentle flow. In breath and out breath, nice and easy. Making sure that inhale fills the belly, the chest, shoulders. And the exhale is as complete as you can make it. Two more breaths like this, just noticing all of those spaces that the breath fills when you inhale. Just feeling that lengthened exhale. Another round like this, and notice the effect on your muscles, the connections in the body, the joints, maybe the hips loosen a bit, and the shoulders. The next breath, nice deep inhale. And then on your exhale, we'll breathe out through the mouth as if you were fogging the windows that's close to you. Then inhale. We'll do this a few more times, really feeling that vapor of the breath. Feel free to put your hand in front of your face to feel that breath in your hand. And on the inhale, feel free to imagine drawing pictures in the fog on the window. And one more like this. Cleansing exhale. Ease yourself down onto the mat as you open the eyes. And we're going to lengthen out because the low back loves a lengthening. So let's inhale the arms next to the ears and feel the feet reaching for as long as they can go and the fingertips reaching as long as they can go. So now we're going to take exhale and just feel the back body release as if you're releasing into the sand beneath you. Now we're going to do some side lengthening. Take the left foot and wrap it over the right foot and just cross-legged there. And take your right hand and you're going to step through your right foot, just imagining as if you're stepping on a surface, a floor, or a wall. Take your left hand and grab your right wrist and lean over towards the left. So you can scooch over and just pressing through that right foot, feeling a nice side stretch there, really traveling up the side of the body, the waist and the ribs and the shoulders, and then slide your way back to your vertical or horizontal. Take the feet and switch them, and you're just anchoring that left foot and keeping it so the right foot's over the left, and we're taking the right hand to the left wrist. Inhaling, exhaling, sliding yourself over to lengthen your left side. Fog that window with your exhale. Your next inhale slides you back to our Tadasana. on the ground, our mountain pose on the ground. Take the arms next to the body and just sway the chin side to side, feeling our neck extension. And look up at the sky. In our neutral gaze, roll the shoulders away from your midline on your exhale, and then look up at the sky. Not look up the sky, look up behind you, and then look down at your chest. And then again, trace that line there. And then find neutral with the back of your skull. Bend the knees, bring the knees together and the feet wider apart. As you exhale, bring the right knee down towards the left foot along the shin and trace that line back up again, and the left knee along the right shin and back up again. And notice that lengthening we create on the right side here. And repeat. You're going to take your arms above your face and take the thumbs into the elbow creases and take those elbows side to side, opposite of the knees. And then you're going to take your same head side to side action we were doing before, but look in the opposite direction of your elbows. So we'll start with our crazy legs here. And then your eyes can follow your elbows as the neck turns, as the world turns, and the neck turns. Be sure to feed the spine with breath. And then slow this down and bring the arms next to the sides. Just feel that anchoring. Inhale, exhale, and look for your block. And we'll take the feet as our extra anchors down there towards the base of the mat. And we're going to take our fingertips and make sure that we can feel the back of our heels. Making sure the feet are even, spread the toes, inhale, exhale, and those feet are your anchor as you lift the hips up. Grab that block and place it under the sacrum. If you want a blanket under that sacrum for softer experience, you can do that too. And just feel the sacrum release. This should feel really good on the low back. With each exhale, feel the shoulders just drop and melt towards the mat. And you can open the palms up towards the sky as we invert. Inhale and exhale, fog the window. And notice with our head below the heart, different sensations here. Releasing oxygen towards the brain. Nice blood flow there. Now we can lengthen out some more with the hips lifted. If we take the right leg long on the mat, straighten that leg, and then the left leg to join. Take the feet in our Tadasana, pressing the flexed feet into that imaginary wall. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, drop the feet out to the side, and sweep the arms next to the ears. So we're using that gravity to our advantage. And release. See if you can inhale and use your side waist muscles to lengthen out, and as you exhale, release behind you to the back body. It's pretty simple with gravity on our side. And then take the toes towards the ceiling, bend the knees, and we'll roll up into a bridge with our arms above the head. So we're really reaching from fingertips to the knees. Then stepping strong through the feet and toning through those glutes, which support the low back. Very important piece there. Spend 2 more breaths holding your bridge. And then sweep the arms up towards the ceiling, nice straight arms, and then bend the elbows into the floor. As we press down, let's just take an extra push for the Sternum towards the chest, looking up at the sky, and then your hands reach behind you and just move that block out of the way. Curl the spine down like a wave, down to the floor. Immediately roll and exhale onto your side, and we're going to switch to our tabletop cat-cow. Pushing the knees if you'd like to, below the shins. As we come into tabletop, to protect your wrists, you might want to come onto the forearms and inhale into cat. Exhale into cow. And on the next cat, we're going to reach behind us with our hips and come back into child's. And then sweep forward. Feel free to scoop forward as if you're coming through the hole in a fence. And then come on up to our tabletop, find the neutral spine and do our bird dog. So lift the left arm and the right leg. Extra lengthening here and evening out through the hips. Exhale down and we're curling into cat. And hips to heels as we slide through, slight arch in the spine as you just imagine that hole in the fence like Peter Rabbit, and then come on through that fence and up to our neutral. Lift the right arm, left leg. Find that evenness through your hips, strength, pulling into the center and then down, back into cat. And hips to heels and through the fence. And one more time on each side, left arm, right leg. Exhale down, curl through cat. Make this nice and fluid forward. And then we'll take our right arm, left leg. And bring it all down, hands forward. Let's come into a knee plank. So we're holding strong through the core, our shoulders away from the ears, and ease ourselves down to the mat. Bend the elbows, bring the chest down, and then the forehead. Hands are going to anchor right next to the shoulders. The tops of the feet are on the floor, pressing through the tops of the feet, and then pull back energetically with the hands as we curl up into cobra and then down. Let's make this a nice wave action with our breath. As you inhale, the back body inflates and we get that buoyancy, and then exhale down. 3 more of these so we can get a nice strengthening in that low back. And make sure strengthen and lengthen through the back of the neck and through the low back. On your next descent down, we're going to push away with the hands and come up towards our downward dog. Take that block and feel free to place that in between the thighs just for extra nice strength there. Curl the toes under and come up to down dog. Now feel free to keep the knees bent and take your time here. This is a little bit of a brief, a shorter class, but we're going to just make sure you take your time if you need to. Feel that stretching along the hamstrings. Push away with the hands and feel those shoulders wrapping towards the armpits so we really get some strength in our upper back there. If you want to add extra core and take longer, you can always go into plank and down dog here. Bend the knees, walk the hands to the feet. Keep the fingertips on the floor as you just feel those spider hands, and bend the knees and drape the head down. And then inhale into a flat back. Let's sit back in an imaginary chair here, squeezing that block. And then we're going to sweep the arms up towards the sky and come on up. And arms down at the side. Inhale, exhale, grab the block. And we're going to squeeze that block in between the hands as we come up and just serve that block in front of you. And now when we feel it is at shoulder height, we're just going to squeeze in again and notice that warmth in your arm muscles as you do that. Press strong through the feet, anchor through the feet, through the glutes. Keep that anchor strong, slight bend in the knees as we turn and serve it to the right. So we twist our upper spine and to the left. And then come forward. And now squeeze the block, lift it up towards the sky only as far as you feel your shoulders want to rotate. Hold that up and we'll take a side bend here, squeezing the block. Over to the right. Feels yummy. Over to the left. Yes. So nice. And then holding that up, we're going to bring it back down. Exhale to serving in front of us. And now we're going to bring it to the back. So the hands are going to meet at the base of the spine, just a little bit away from the base of the spine, squeezing that block. As you squeeze the block, notice the toning through the arms that happens. Inhale through the crown of the head. Exhale. Feel gravity in those feet. And squeeze that block. And bring the block forward. We're going to take a step forward and take our feet out into parallel wide stance. And we're going to take a triangle over towards the right. So inhale that block above your head. So look up at that block just as if it's that torch above you and allow the left hand to drop. So we're taking our elephant pose. Just look up at that block and see if you can feel extra smoothing out of your right waistline. Inhale, exhale, keep that long reach as we take that block over towards our right toes. Our feet are in proud warrior position here. Make sure you protect that right knee and take a strong quad. And let's take that block towards the floor next to the right foot. Take the left hand, the left hip. We're going to help those hip bones point forward as we stretch our hips and inhale the left arm up towards the sky and then next to the left ear. Inhale, lengthen the left side here as you feel the feet connect in space and your right hand anchors you down there on the block. And you can take those left hand up towards the sky again, broaden the collarbones, roll the shoulders away from the ears, feel that freedom. And then imagine someone helping you with that left hand up, back to the sky, grab the block, switch the block to your left hand up there, and drop your right hand and feel like there's a little weight in that right hand and just behind your glute there and look up at the block. Beautiful. Victory. And then look forward, keeping that length on the left side. Let's switch the toes. So we're doing triangle on the other side. Reach along with that block and bring it down next to the left foot. Take the right hand to that hip on the right side. Just feeling that opening happening there. Curl open. And then right hand to the sky, arm lengthening. Fingertips to fingertips. And you can take it next to the right ear so we can really feel that side waist on the right opening up. Such a beautiful cure-all of a pose. And then we'll reach that right arm up to the sky. Imagine just someone up there or a rope helping you up and lift on up. Beautiful. Let's take the block in front of us right there. Tall position. Hands to the top of the thighs. Let's fold forward as we feel a flat back. Inhale, lengthen. And we'll exhale, feel that block beneath us. So whatever setting you want that block to anchor your hands. As you come into flat back, hold on to the block, anchor through those feet. Feel the connection between the feet magnetically as we drop the head and drape the spine forward. So we're making that triangle with our legs as we drop the head down and release the low back here. So Making sure that we use the breath, that fog window breath, to release our spine and our head. Inhale into a flat back. Take the left hand to the block, take the right hand to your chest, and then open up, elbow to the sky, fold open into a twist, and see if you can keep those hip bones evenly pointing at the floor. Sweep the right hand down, and then the left hand to the heart, sweep it on up, left arm to the sky. Sweep it past our heart. Come to the floor there. You can just leave the block there. Inhale into a flat back, hands to the thighs. And we're going to use that strength to come on up. And taking the hands to the hips, swivel through the hips as we heel toe ourselves back to the center of the mat. And then we're going to take a walk to the base of the mat. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Dive forward, just hinging at the hips. Your knees are bent or straight, whatever you'd like. So wingspan of the arms out. And come down to a forward bend. And walk the hands forward. Bend the knees, bring them down to the mat. And we're going to take the knees wider apart, toes together. Take that block again here in front of you, and we're going to slide the hips back to child's. And we're just going to bring our forehead to that block. You can choose, again, the height of the block that's comfortable for you. Take the arms next to that block. Release the mind here. Give our mind a moment to settle into stillness. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the release of the hips to the heels. Alternately, you can be on your back and just hug the knees. Celebrate the breath. Inhale. Let's come up, move that block to the side, and we can immediately roll on to the back. Feel the back of the head, just supported. Inhale the left knee towards the chest, and we'll take a figure four. So we're going to take the left ankle to the right thigh. And notice the folding open of that left hip. We're going to decompress a bit here. So take that low back loves to just get a little bit of space. Take the left hand to the left thigh and counter press. So left thigh into hand, hand to thigh. Release through exhale. And you can just try again. Notice maybe a little more opening as you release. And then here with those even hips and sacrum on the floor, we're going to see if we can hug the right thigh towards us, keeping the feet super pressed and active. And here we can do another decompression. Press the right thigh into the hands, hands into the thigh, and release. And do this as many times as you'd like. And if you want to take your right foot up towards the sky, we can have a little hamstring stretch there too. So this stretch really addresses so many issues in the low back. It's got that piriformis glute stretch. It's got the hamstring extension and also a hip opener. It's so much beauty in this pose. And we will bend that right knee, bring the foot to the floor. You can turn this into a twist even. If you'd like to keep your knees together for our twist, you can do that too. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, roll onto the right side. I'm going to show the back here. So rolling onto the right side, the left foot comes to the floor. We're staying in that figure four. Or if it's easier for you to keep the knees together in a traditional twist, that's fine. We're on our right side. The left hand comes to the heart and the elbow to the sky. We just fold open into an upper body twist. So we've got the pelvis here, 90 degrees to the floor, but the ribs and the upper spine are in a twist. Exhale and release. Keeping that right knee bent. You can even grab for that right foot behind you for a quad stretch. Gravity maybe helps that left shoulder down towards the floor, but no force. Just see what gravity does for you and feel that stretch on the left thigh as well. Our next inhale will come up to our back with that figure four and unwind that left leg, and we'll bring the right knee towards the face. Take that right ankle to the left thigh, press your right hand to the right thigh and vice versa, and release. As many times as you want to make this feel delicious in that right hip. And then we can hug the left thigh towards us. Being aware of the opening in our hips as we flow through these movements. Take your left thigh into those hands into thigh, and release as many times as you'd like for that lovely, spacious experience. And then take the left foot to the sky for our hamstring stretch. Using your breath, fogging that window on the exhale. And we bend that left knee, foot comes to the floor, and we just roll onto the left side. Immediate twist or adjust your knees as necessary. We're on our left side, right hand to the heart, elbow to the sky, and twist over towards the right. Keeping that right foot anchored to the floor. And if you want to find your left foot back there in a quad stretch, but no force into this. If you do have the quad stretch, you want to make sure your knee stays aligned with the hip on that left leg. And just experience these sensations just as they are, keeping a neutral gaze at your sensations, no judgments. Feel that full exhale as you release the hands and roll easily onto your back. Take the feet both to the floor. We're taking our hands to the thighs, gently pressing downward, exhaling towards the base of the mat. And release. And then again. And release. And take the arms out to the side. Keep the knees bent if that's more comfortable, because that can be really therapeutic for the low back to keep the knees bent. Even if you keep the knees together and the feet wide apart, you can rest here. You can straighten out your legs and flop the feet out to the side and release there as well. So many ways to release into Shavasana. We'll just spend a few breath counts here, coming into our breath. Inhale through the whole body, exhale. Inhale to refresh the mind. Exhale. Inhale to refresh the spirit. Exhale. And our next inhale, mind, body, and spirit in harmony. Exhale. Wiggle the fingers and the toes, or spend more time here if you'd like. You can also transition to a seated position. Feeling better in your low back and ready to move in a flow. Inhale the arms above the head, hands together in prayer. Trace it down to our heart. Thanks so much for joining me in this practice today. Namaste.